He's done it so many times internationally, so many times regionally. We know that he can dominate. And let's be honest, G2 has crushed EG so far this year. 6-0 at MSI. EG definitely hungry for some revenge. We want to see if EG, even as the individuals, yes, there is no Danny here. Yes, it is not the intended starting roster, but we want to see if that improvement can show against a team like G2 that is truly world-class and has been around the block so many times when it comes to these big events.
Definitely have one of the most successful and storied orgs in European history. Next to teams like Fnatic. There's the Renata ban, so targeting the support picks, trying to take them away. Things like the Lulu, the Braum. I feel like G2 will have options. GG just removing the strongest ones.
Yeah, very interesting though. G2 also with the Graves ban, obviously their read would be then that means it's an impact tree. And I do think that would pair well with a carry jungler like the Graves, so I think it's intelligent. LeBlanc is up and does feel like a JoJo special, something that he is pretty comfortable to go towards, but it does feel like EG are building more towards straight up 5v5, so I feel like maybe you want to go more towards just a control mage.
That Darius ban tells me that this Maokai probably is going towards the top side, and I feel like with G2 seeing that, they should probably pick support here and keep the Sejuani flex.
And I actually really like the ban, even though we haven't seen it, because when I see Maokai top, that is the go-to I think of in solo queue, and also does pair well with Sejuani for the triple melee top. So even though we haven't seen it yet, I do think it's a smart respect ban. Broken Blade is the kind of guy that would be willing to bring it out. Rel AoE CC against Tom Kench, I think is always really, really strong. You're not just targeted CC on one person like the Leona that's more easily denied by the TK. This makes it more difficult, and you can poke off the gray health as well on that Tom Kench.
Do they go for things like the Trundle here into the Sejuani and then just basically run back the Rogue comp in a similar vein of the Maokai, the Trundle, having something like a Victor as well to fill the role of things like the carries? Is that something you think EG would run?
I think it is. The only concern is just that, are they going to be... It is set mid, baby! Now I think we're going to have a higher damage jungler. I don't think we're actually going to get the Trundle anymore. It's possible they go towards Trundle, but I think you're too low DPS. You need AP from jungle for sure here with Set, so...
I feel like they really need AP damage in the jungle right now. Unless Kaori goes some kind of AP Varus build, it must be... Inspired Nidalee up against G2. Now, Jankos has that option of counterpicking this, going for something like the Lee Sin if he wants with more dueling potential, or just taking the bullets, playing the Sejuani and giving the counterpick to Broken Blade.
Man, you gotta give it to EG. They don't lack for confidence here. Going in with the set mid, there was a massive game from JoJo in play and looked really, really good. It's Fiora though, another melee topside. AD melee champions, we're talking about it earlier on. I think triple melee topside, when you do have that Sejuani, is so strong for your skirmishes in 2v2s, for your 3v3s around Herald even. Even though Nidalee is really well known for her early game power, it's so tough when you're fighting against Sejuani plus a melee in a lot of these skirmishes.
Let's just look at these comps because we have 8 melee champions right now. The only ranged ones, also 7, and Nidalee will go in a little bit in melee form when she dashes forwards, but it's only the AD carries that are going to play on range here. Fiora, Sejuani, Sylas, Rel into a set Maokai, Tom Kench. There's going to be so much fighting. It's going to be so scrappy. Just a case of finding the right targets.
Well, and honestly, I just worry for EG, if there is that threat, which it feels like there's a lot of dive here in AoE CC potentially coming through from G2. If you can even just
early game. Nidalee, of course, just finished her topside. Cam's going to move it.
He's done. Oh, he might just die. 200 health left. He's going to keep waiting for grass proc, but the same will happen through for Fiora. New Vital coming up soon. Passive comes across. Q's him out of the queue. He had to get that timing right.
But the wave is screwed.
He won't find the first stun, but here we've got the 2v1, so Impact, how do you live? Jankos Q is going to land, and actually, he's dropping the farm in the meantime. Try to deny some as well. Flashes. Stun's still going to land first.
I've seen Targamas for quite some time, but he's not playing to the side of the map.
Flash stun comes in, a flashback to safety. Stun puts up the shield. Wants right over the tower, but does not get the angle correct. The sidestep from Jankos guarantees no safety. 2 on the board.
Have to look at the positioning of the champions.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Maybe I would have tried to been able to find that angle. As he lands, it's hard. Maybe he could have tried to get an ulti onto Jankos and then flash back towards the tower, but G2 wasn't really giving him any sort of an easy angle there. Good setup from Caps. But the jungle and support making...
Not level 6, that would have been crucial. Jankos over the wall, spotted, flash into safety, flash gets out, but they're going to catch Vulcan. Will it be enough damage though? The root not going to be enough. Flashes forced though EG down both those summoners.
Not enough gap close there from G2 to kill the Tom Kench, but they both have no flash. Kaori has the heal, Jankos has the ult though, no level 6, like you said, Freak on the Tom Kench.
He's going to go in for a big stun to start this one out. They're going to find a whole lot here. There's the CC chain, and they're going to get all of it. Vulcan gets the shield, it won't matter. 2 for nothing in the bot side. Flakked gets the kill.
Good ult there from Jankos.
It's just really good team play from EG.
We see it again here, no flash on both, and then Jankos uses the E-stun here and the ult over to the side to make sure they can lock both down on the minimap. You can see a lot of pressure topside from EG. How can they use this Herald? Where do they place it? I mean, with that mid tower being so low, they could Herald that mid tier one and get it taken down. Caps enjoying himself right now. G2, of course, have really good kind of team synergy behind the 5k HP. Inspire jumps out. Yeah, looks like they're just going to drop it.
I mean, it's just dying way too slow. And with no flash on Cowrie or Vulcan, I mean, he's
gonna
dead.
land. Tom Kench, he can put up a shield, but will it even matter? It, of course, does not. Flakked on the board for a second. 5-0. And they're gonna get some poke coming through. Javelins, spears, all look pretty decent. Caps can take a bit of damage, walk back out. Now on to the second Rift Herald of the game. EG mentioned they're on a timer. This is a fight they can actually take. Eye opens up yet again. Gets closer to smite range, nearly resetting the aggro, but not quite yet. Inspire keep the damage coming across, still poking towards Jankos at half HP. They on the front line. Is that the fight they want? And so Vulcan brings them to safety, and it's 1-0. Jankos is down. Stun comes across. Targamas has to get out. Huge damage out of Aphelios, though. And the gold lead for Flakked means so much. Caps dives in, finds another. Dives away now for Vulcan. The flash over the wall. Will he find the kill? The shield is not gonna hold up. It's 8-1.
G2 wipe PG from the map, and they are not done yet. Caps on the wraparound here, looking for even more against Inspired and Impact.
May not find it. Looks for the sun, doesn't land it there. The poke's still coming through. Targamas around. I don't know if he has what it takes to finish his kill. Dives on in, could be stunned. Heal comes through, Javelin. This one's sidestepped. Everyone's out.
Very messy fight, and we can see so many melee champs in the game. It's just a bloodbath in the center of it, but it's Flakked dishing out a lot of damage with the blue gun, in front of him, just doing so much work in the front line. I think the reason it's so good for EG at the start is because Jankos uses his ult onto Jojo, and then Jojo gets this big W in a second when he comes out to zone the rest of G2 away on top of the Maokai ult, but then the turn was just fantastic.
Absolutely, and critically, it means there's no Devour here for Cowrie. Caps actually tagged him, I think, there with the stolen Varus ult, and then just alley-oop to himself there, hits him with the chains, locks him down. Vulcan can do nothing to peel because he had to spend the ulti there on set, and as soon as Cowrie goes down, he knows that there's no shot for them in that fight.
Frustration. I don't know. Either way, the ulti is on. Yanko's coming around as well. There should be a stun. Immunes what he can, but now it's going to be that first stun. In the second stun, into the last vital being popped. Will he tank it at this point, though? Next one's coming relatively soon. Lands a Q. W, auto, heals up. Onto the tower they go, and Broken Blade finds his kill. In the mid lane, it's on the Vulcan. Cap's going to get his next one. A bit low, though. Cowrie does not get the rest of the damage needed and can't go back for any more. Auto still coming through. Flakked gets whatever he wants set up by his lane mate. And a killing spree for the Aphelios.
G2 at all. Oh, he did.
He did for a frame there.
But I guess he just wasn't that worried. Wanted to get the last little bit of farm, but said 20 comes in.
I think he saw his HP bar and probably assumed he was about to recall or something, so he just wanted to crash the wave. Maybe Impact even thought in a 2v1 he had enough to live. He almost made his way out, but then Broken Blade and Jankos managed to find that kill. All the meanwhile, there was a fight happening in mid, so Targamas just jumped in with the Hex Flash and the ult, pulls them all in with the Magnet Storm. Caps gets the initial kill, dodges out on his Varus Q, I believe. No, it hits actually. Inspired wants to jump in, but he knows if he does, Flakked will just melt straight through.
Yeah, just no real way through, and you can see how powerful the AoE engage there of the Rel is when you're playing up against that Tom Kench.
Yeah, bit of a fight towards the top side. Will it be enough? The question, when can he find the ult? He's already stolen one from Maokai, so he doesn't have that one yet again. TP's coming in to start reinforcing. Caps gonna flash, gets the re-Maokai ult. Jojo caught out, but for how long? Puts it across, gets stunned, should still have the shield. Gordinger for a second. Shut that into Caps, gets rid of the Magi stacks. Jojo staying alive, he flashes, gets up towards Tom Kench. This needs to be the fight that EG wins, but Targamas is too tanky, and Broken Blade finds the kill. It's 2-1 so far. Impact left alone with his own kind, cut down, turned into mulch, and it's G2 taking everything.
Caps falls, but Flakked and Broken Blade stand strong. The next carry's in line when he does die there. Loses the Magi stacks, but now it looks like G2 want to start up this Baron. 10 seconds on Caps' respawn. He can TP in. It's on Inspired and Cowrie. They have a little bit of poke to work with. Targamas a little bit scared right now to walk up. Initial spear is going to miss. Can Inspired get into this pit? Where's Caps going to TP? Oh,
EG
big spear.
The Baron pit. Is it enough? EG the Baron pit. Inspired dives in and he goes down far too early. Baron is claimed. Inspired drops. And G2 are slaughtering.
15-2, 6,000 gold lead here for G2. They are crushing EG in this game. And EG do look for the pick here onto Caps, and they do eventually find it, but they just have so little damage. It takes them so long that G2 has easily responded in time, and Jojo's getting beat down on the side.
Both mid laners kind of struggling in their skirmishes. Caps falls initially, so it's a 5v4, but Cowrie arrives a little bit late, and look at this ult from Flakked. Gets so many shurikens so he can dish out damage on the Aphelios, and then Broken Blade can start to step forward and kill the backline of EG. His impact goes a little bit too far forwards. Cowrie really can't hit in this fight. The second he steps up, he's just going to get engaged on as well. and it's the meat grinder of Flakked, and now it's Dragon.
Eagles will not take the engage with Merc Treads. Set is not an easy target. Mid lane under fire. Broken Blade can always riposte the ulti. Doesn't have to care about that too much.
Interesting that G2 are playing a 1-4 rather than having 4-man mid. I guess it just covers off flanks a lot easier because they can only come from your top side. So Impact's now collapsing down, but they can see him coming to this red side jungle. Broken Blade just spotted him out. So how defensive do they want to play this? Broken Blade doesn't have the TP, but it looks like they're confident enough to step up. As Corey goes back towards base, that means Broken Blade can take this mid tier 2. Impact spotted. G2 waiting for the next cannon wave.
Caps takes Devour. Even if you wanted to find an engage, it's not going to happen for much. Broken Blade happy to keep hitting up against Maokai here, but wants to pull in for a Jojo gun. Will it be enough damage to kill Fiora? It's going to be tough. Pops the ulti, gets some move speed, gets some healing, hits 2 vitals already. And now Impact will run away. At least trades down the ulti, but bottom inhibitor turret has dropped. 1 minute left. 3,000 gold to the Red Bull Baron power play. Inhibitor now gone as well.
G2 gonna move towards mid, another cannon wave coming in. They don't have that Fiora ult, but maybe they're confident enough to step up. A massive damage there from Broken Blade to Jojo, and he gets engaged on.
First stun comes across, will get chomped up, stays alive for now. Caps dives in for more, has to burn a stopwatch. Will there be a re-engage and will it land? They find a bit of damage, but Caps stays alive. More damage across Jojo must shield, and Jojo will drop. Flakked stays up, saved by his mid laner, and they're gonna get Kaori now as well. Everyone's gonna run away or die, maybe even both. A 4-0 team fight, make it only 3. Vulcan had gotten out a little while ago. 18-2 though, looking to get their 7th straight win over EG, and it's gonna happen through the middle lane. Double inhibitor down on a Nexus turret number 1, but a poke not gonna mean much. Pushing for more, finding that stun, finding yet another kill. You have to believe Inspired stuck inside the fountain as his turrets drop and die, and he'll be left 0, 1, and 2. A CS lead, but not one for the game, as he will sit there hoping for the regen. The minions come in. The Nexus falls.